Emily. Thanks for coming on the Amplify podcast here at AAM Summit. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what firm you're with, and what you do?
Yeah, to keep it light, my name's Emily Ackerman. I live in Dallas, Texas, and I'm the Director of Business Development for Lane, Gorman, Trubitt. We're the largest independently owned accounting firm in Texas and specialize in 4 core industries such as construction, manufacturing, distribution, not-for-profit, and automotive dealerships. I have a very fun job. I work with 150 very smart CPAs, or what I call CAPAs.
CAPAs. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. All right. So we're doing this series is all about state of the industry. So
Yes.
What do you see coming that maybe is keeping you up at night or maybe even has you excited?
My biggest concern that keeps me up at night is just the stigma of public accounting and the lack of people wanting to go into the industry. I think I'm not alone from a firm standpoint where we have more work than people. And I think so many people think that public accounting is like what you heard about back in the day, where you are basically living at an office during busy season for 150 hours, you have absolutely no work-life balance, and you're kind of a slave to the big man, and you really don't have any kind of say. You only look at one thing. Like if you're in international tax, that is all you do. You have no hands dipping in other different aspects of accounting, and people just assume that going in industry is an easier route if you want to go into accounting. Now, I'm a 33-year-old woman. I can speak to the industry being, from my point of view, that I think if you want to go in industry, that means you only are excited about one kind of thing. So say you want to be a CFO at a not-for-profit. That is all you're doing all day, every day, from 8 to 5. You have absolutely no freedom to, let's say if you want to get up later, start at 9:30. You can't do that if you're in industry. I think public accounting gets a bad rep from that back in the day perception because at least at our accounting firm, if you are, say, an auditor and you work really late and you like to get up late, you can start your audit at 9:30 or 10 in the morning. If you would rather take off early on a Friday at noon, you can work over the weekends and dabble a little bit. As long as you hit your hours, which I think at our firm are very reasonable, it does not matter when you do it, it's just do it.
Yeah,
And
let's get the work done.
Yeah, and I think nowadays with the positive effects of COVID, our firm is very hybrid. So say after this conference at AIM, say I don't really feel like being around a bunch of people Thursday morning. I'm going to work from home Thursday morning. We have that flexibility, whereas if you go in industry, you do not. And I joke that my firm likes to hire a bunch of B-plus students where they're really smart, but they're still extremely outgoing, and everyone likes each other and they're fun. I think public accounting also gets a bad rep for having a bunch of introverted, quiet nerds. It really isn't that way, especially if you're interviewing around town, wherever you live. Find the culture fit. You have to like what you do and really like who you work with, and I think that's the most important component. And what keeps me up at night is just I'm concerned that more people don't have that mindset of public accounting, and I think CPAs are extremely interesting creatures. They're a lot easier to get along with than, say, lawyers or private equity or investment bank. Public accounting is a really great foot in the door to see what industry you even like, and you don't have to go in industry to only do that. If you want to work only with automotive dealerships, you can find a CPA firm where you can work with tons of automotive dealership clients and get your hands dipped in a bunch of different ponds and get more exposure that way. And you could always go into industry if you want to, but I do think more people need to go into public accounting to just test it out, and you will like where you work once you find the right people and culture fit. And I hope people just don't always assume you have to go to the Big Four to do that.
My name is Cami Miner. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications for Anglin, Reichmann, Armstrong, an accounting firm located in Huntsville, Alabama, with another office in Pensacola, Florida, and we have about 100 people.
All right, Cami, tell us what's going on in client experience in the accounting industry.
So one thing I noticed, specifically at our firm, and kind of what I'm hearing from others, is that it's kind of a broken process right now. So you have all these meetings with your clients, you seal the deal or whatever, and you're bringing them on board, but there's no formalized process. So it's kind of broken. Your client isn't staying in communication with you. Things are going a little south as far as like not being able to continue the conversations with them, and they don't have a proper onboarding process, so they don't know what to do, what portals to sign up for, or who their contact person is, who they contact for taxes, who they contact for audit, who they contact for bookkeeping, or whatever we may be helping them for. So it kind of puts a bad taste in the client's mouth on the front end, which is like totally not what you want to do, because you want that first experience to be grand. So what we've been doing at our firm is just trying to formulate a process to where when we have a new client come on board, every single person that's within the client service team and the onboarding team has a task. So my task is to email the client, welcome them aboard, and then give them next steps. So after you get this email from me, you're going to hear from so-and-so on the engagement team. This person's going to help you with your tax return. This person's going to help you with your audit. This person's going to help you with XYZ. So you kind of have like names in your email with clickable links where you can actually click to see their photo, you can click to see their bio, you can kind of know what their job duties are. And then also, obviously, they're copied on the email, so you can reply to that thread or directly reply to that person to have that initial conversation based off whatever you're dealing with. So that's kind of how I get started, and then from there, you have like your engagement letters and all the other fun stuff that kind of flows into the process. So we're also going to be doing welcome gifts too. So depending on the client, what their needs are, what we're doing for them, just welcoming them aboard, making them feel appreciated and valued.
So my name is Ashton Adair, and I am marketing manager at Whitley, Penn, one of 2 marketing managers. My primary focus is on branding, BD, PR, and internal communications as well as external communications.
That's awesome. And you're actually a little bit newer to the accounting marketing industry. You've been in marketing for a long time, right?
Correct. Yes, so I've been in B2B marketing for 15 years, and then recently was victim to some tech and marketing layoffs. So I specialized in HubSpot marketing, and unfortunately the industry is just kind of a little bit unstable right now, and accounting is a little bit more stable. I had a wonderful referral from a friend, and been here about a quarter and drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah, so that fire hose, I'm sure, is a big learning curve, and just getting caught up. What are some of the takeaways that you've had from coming over from technology and from a slightly different marketing background into accounting marketing? Yeah,
and so I would say, just to clarify, I spent the last half of my career in outsourced marketing, so on the marketing agency side. So one of the biggest shifts was coming back to the brand side and kind of remembering some of those wonderful traditional marketing things that we used to get to play with, like PR. I haven't done in a long time, and so it's exciting just to dip back into that, and it's so important and so valuable for brand awareness. I think one of the biggest shifts was coming in and seeing how the business model of partnership structures are so different, and kind of navigating those waters, having a lot of internal customers, key stakeholders we're trying to satisfy, as well as marketers are also trying to focus on many different service lines, product offerings, and we're trying to appeal to 20 plus industries at all times. So I've really taken that agency model and tried to, in my mind, lay it over our partner model and say it's no different than having 80 plus clients with very different industry tracks, very different product offerings. So figuring out how to kind of stratify the team and speak to all those things, ensure everyone has love in their content and that we're really nurturing every part of the business has been a little bit of a spinning plates game, if you will, but incredible industry. Everyone's a wealth of knowledge, and AIM has been my absolute foundation in learning.
I'm Tyler Cuda. I'm from Sassetti. We are located in Oak Park, Illinois.
All right, Tyler, what are you seeing as trends in the accounting industry right now?
So I have a large YouTube background, and what I've been noticing is I have this strategy that I'll be talking about tomorrow during the summit, about a strategy for firms to attract new business development, new hires, all through a social media strategy, and that pertains to long form and short form content. The strategy, I think, is going to be disguising our efforts, or in essence, making accounting sexy, right? Because it's tough to make it sexy, right? It's some of the stuff you're talking numbers, or even coming up with content. A lot of the stuff's confidential. You can't talk about it. So what my strategy, I think, is going to work, and I'm going to propose this tomorrow for firms, it's something I'm proposing myself, is to, instead of focusing on what the firm does, focus on the industries that we want to target, what they have interest in, what their problems are, and just make all your content about that, so you can understand their problems and help better address that.
Deshauna, thanks for coming on the podcast. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, although I think most people know who you are.
Sure. I'm the marketing director at Brown, Schultz, Sheridan, and Fritz. I've been there for 7 years, and I also co-chaired the AAM conference this year, and I'm chairing next year.
That's awesome. All right, so what are you seeing in the industry when it comes to client experience?
So client experience is interesting because people aren't comparing us against other accounting firms. They're comparing us against other brands that they're experiencing, because at the end of the day, most companies don't have multiple accounting firms to compare what you're getting. So they're comparing us to shopping on Amazon. Like, it's that B2C type of thing that's happening there. And so it's really important for us as accounting firms to start to think about that, and so that we're not necessarily comparing ourselves against our competitors, but that we're comparing ourselves against the brands that we ourselves are experiencing day in and day out, and how do we make the experience for our clients match something that is so usually quick, very forefront of technology. You know, those are the things that are going to be super important.
My name's Anna Clyburn. I'm a digital marketing specialist for Brown Edwards in the Mid-Atlantic region and work remotely out of Southern West Virginia. And what got me into this industry was the challenge of the fact that this industry was so behind from a digital perspective, that there was so much opportunity to grow, well, not only professionally that would allow me to explore all these different avenues of digital marketing, but also the fact that I could see big growth potential, not only for my firm, but for the industry as a whole.
So what's coming in the industry that's keeping you up at night?
I think a big fear for this industry is spending money in unknown areas and wanting results now. I today still run campaigns, and the partner's like, yeah, you started that on Monday, it's Thursday, what are my results? And I'm like, can't give that to you. So, having that, jumping in and being willing to take that calculated risk. I'm not saying put $1 million into a digital ad campaign when you're starting, but, pick a goal, pick a target and focus on that, and be able to put that in place and see what you get, and then learn from it. Not all digital campaigns are going to be successful. Some of them will fail, but you learn from that failure and you grow. There's a few LinkedIn campaigns that I've done for different niches that we do that work well for some niches and don't work well for others. So the financial institutions industry, they work really well on LinkedIn. Construction, not so well. So now I know that those ad dollars need to be spent elsewhere.
Jack Coleman-Sperger, I'm the CGO at Herbine & Company.
What's coming in the industry, in the accounting industry, that kind of has you up at night?
Yeah, so in my role as a Chief Growth Officer, the thing that is really concerning, I think, across the marketplace is the perception that there's not enough talent for firms to serve their clients, and I think we really have to be looking at new ways to do that. So our firm just opened an office in the Philippines, which is 100% Herbine employees. It's not outsourced. They have the same schedules as us. They have the same holidays. We have unlimited vacation time. They have unlimited vacation time. There's no differentiation. They just happen to be in a different time zone. So that's one of the things that I think is going to help us to kind of go where the talent is, as opposed to just complain that there's no talent here to be had in the States.
My name's Josh Woods. I'm with Lane Gorman Trubitt. We're based out of Dallas. We have 2 offices now. We just opened up a second office down in Houston. Really excited about that. So I'm the marketing manager for the firm. We have a great group that's within our practice growth. There's actually 6 of us now. We just hired another person, which is great because the firm is really focused in on the marketing side of accounting, and it really shows.
So Josh, what tech are you currently playing with?
The big one, right? It's, that hit at the end of November, is ChatGPT. How is ChatGPT, how is these AI writing programs going to really help marketers, going forward. And I think there's good things about it, and I think there's also bad things about it. The good thing is that, we're very busy in our day-to-day operations, right? And so we're trying to find ways to try and come up with great content and new content that really resonates with our audience. And what ChatGPT, I think, can do is really, speed up that process a lot faster. But it also depends on how much you actually put into it. Now, that's where I think from the bad side, if we don't have certain parameters, put in place, you could get yourself really in big trouble, from a legal standpoint of, putting out client information and things like that. So you have to be mindful when you're going into this new, technology on trying to, I guess, keep it non-client specific, I guess you could say. You don't want to put any client name out there or any information like that. But I do think it really helps with, like I said, content messaging. I mean, that's the biggest thing, and trying to come up with something really quick and on the spot. And so I have been dabbling in it for the last, I got into it back in December. A buddy of mine called me up. He goes, "Man, you got to check this out." And I was like, "Oh, okay." He sent me the thing over, and I was like, "This is incredible." And immediately in my head, I'm thinking, how can I make this work for my job? And and from there, it was just, okay, how do I work this new program, to my benefit? And now you're just starting to understand that you've got to be more specific to what you need, your needs are, and the prompt. So I'm seeing a lot of great, people on, TikTok and, other, social platforms that are, giving you some tips and tricks on how to kind of use this new platform. And you can sit there and write like a paragraph and a half for a prompt, just so you can get what you want. And that's the idea, right? So I think it's going to be great. I think from a long-term standpoint, I think we already know it's going to be here, and it's going to be here for a long time. Too many, what I read, too many investors out there that are throwing out major money towards this new technology. So, we have to, as an industry, jump on board early, or we're going to be continuously trying to catch up to what the technology is out there. And I think that's been a little bit of a downfall for the accounting industry, is that we're always playing catch up. We need to jump on something a little bit earlier.
My name is Amy Delaney, and I am the Director of Marketing and Business Development for Kernet Stokes. We are based in Eugene, Oregon.
Awesome. My old stomping grounds.
Yes, go Ducks.
All right, go Ducks. Question. So what tech are you playing with or considering for the next year? What do you see coming down the pike?
Sure. Well, right now we're working on upgrading some of our core tech that we need for being an accounting firm, and once we have that in place, we'll start looking at CRM systems, I'm hopeful, and that's going to be really exciting as a marketer for us to finally have that in place. I've worked with a CRM system in a previous place of employment, and I know what that does for that relationship management, the efficiencies it creates, and then just all the opportunities it presents to a marketing perspective, which is really, really exciting. I look forward to getting rid of the to-do lists and the Excel spreadsheets and having everything in one place for everybody.
Hi, I'm Tenley Damrow. I'm a marketing director with RSM, and I am the marketing leader for our alliance.
So what tech are you playing with right now or considering using in the next year?
Oh gosh, there's a lot happening in MarTech, and it's coming fast and furiously, quite honestly. And I feel like if you're not on top of it, you're going to get run over by it. Like, it is coming fast. ChatGPT is one thing, obviously. And quite honestly, in the Alliance, that's part of my role, is to figure out what are the great things that we can take to our members in the Alliance that will help amplify what they're doing. And so ChatGPT is one of them. We've built out this platform where they can utilize all the RSM thought leadership, and they can take that content, put it on their website with a click of a button, and within that platform now there's a ChatGPT offering which has a lot of other features to it as well. It's hard to do it justice by just talking about it, but it's really cool.
Hi, I'm Becky Livingston from Penn Marketing. I'm the founder and owner, and I'm a consultant to the accounting industry, providing marketing services.
Well, I have a question for you, I'd like to know from your perspective what technology is changing for the accounting industry. What's coming up? What's coming down the pike?
That's a great question, because as a consultant to the industry, I work with a lot of different firms across the country, and they're all at different levels of technology-related tools that they're using. And I'm seeing a lot of CRMs coming into play, which is exciting for me as a marketer. I love to see that. And I also, AI, of course, everybody's blabbing about AI. I've been talking about it for 5 years now. I'm sick of it. But AI is coming into play, and it's kind of freaking me out because everyone's talking about it from a writing perspective. But it's not just for writing. When Microsoft comes out with Copilot, officially, I mean, some of us are already in it. Copilot's an amazing tool that's going to allow all of the sources within the product to leverage AI tools. Of course, they're using ChatGPT because they own 47% of the company, but they're leveraging technology to do so many things. Workflows, process, marketing. That's some of the exciting stuff I see in the technology space.
That's awesome. Should we be scared of AI taking over, or are we safe?
I don't think AI is going to be anything to scare us. I mean, it's technology. I've been in technology since the early 80s. I'm one of those, original coding girl kind of things. And technology is just an advancement. It's a support mechanism. Think of it like software that supports tax people. It's a support mechanism. It's a tool. It's just another tool to help us be better, faster, stronger.
So you don't think it's going to take over?
Well, eventually the humans are still going to survive, but probably in a different kind of way.
Okay.
I don't think being a writer right now is probably your best job option. But if there's something you do as a writer or a content developer, leverage the tool to help you determine your niche to become something better, faster, stronger.
I'm Chuck Summers. I'm the Director of Practice Growth with MCM CPAs and Advisors, based out of Louisville, Kentucky, with offices kind of all over the Midwest, Indianapolis, Cincinnati. Firm about 400 employees, marketing and business development team about 7. So been active in AAM all 5 years that I've been with the firm, and excited to be here again today.
So what's next for the accounting industry when it comes to client experience?
Yeah, client experience is a hot topic and a trendy topic with a lot of firms. We're definitely taking a look at it because we really want to, not only from an onboarding when they first become a client, but what does a year in the life of a client with MCM or another firm look like? What should they expect to see? There's outside in consumer goods and retail, you kind of expect what the brand or the identity that they have with a particular brand. I like to see that in the industry we're taking that more seriously. We're taking a look at, what does it mean to, customer service, client experience, what should they expect from that, and not just from a, you get your CPE, pay the bill, kind of the boring way, but really making it fun, being proud and excited to say that we are an MCM client, or we are a fill-in-the-blank firm client. They understand the purpose, the mission, and what it is, and they take a pride in wanting to associate themselves with. Client experience, there's so much there's so much we can't say who our attorney is or who our CPA firm is. And so I love the client experience that they want to promote and do a testimony and be proud to be your client, and they're more than willing to tell other people that you're their client. So I think it's exciting to me that we're taking that client experience and that client loyalty to the next stage.
Thanks for coming on the podcast, Marty. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what firm you're with and what you do?
Sure. I'm Marty Reisen, and I'm with my CPAs. We're in Topeka, Kansas. We also have a firm in our location in Overland Park, Kansas, which is right outside of Kansas City. So we're a firm of about just under 300 employees, and we have clients nationwide. We specialize in quick service restaurant marketing, and we have a very large niche with McDonald's owner-operators.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I've got to ask you, what's coming up in the industry that's got you up at night?
What really has me, I guess, on the edge of my seat, or what has me nervous, is the AI integrations that, you can either be excited or you can be nervous about. I tend to like to stay on top of technology. Any tool I can put in my toolbox is very useful. But when I could see copywriting that can be done super quickly, super easily. And then also I'm a graphic designer, so seeing quick and easy graphic design coming up. Sure, right now you still need to apply a human touch to it, but I can see down the road they're going to figure out the little bells and whistles that make it a little more human. So I worry about being able to stay on top of that and still being cutting edge, if you will. But I mean, then you have to think too about what comes from your experiences and from your work experiences that can outperform these things. But yes, that's what has me a little nervous.